Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat pagi dan
Waalaikumsalam
salam sejahtera.
warahmatullahi.
Oke, selamat pagi dan salam sejahtera bagi kita semua. Good morning everyone. Yang terhormat Kepala Perpustakaan Universitas Muhammadiyah Surakarta, Ibu Maria Husnunisa, SOS MA. Yang kami hormati narasumber kita pada pagi hari ini, Miss Mei Ting Theo, serta para mahasiswa S2 UMS yang berbahagia. Puji syukur kita panjatkan kehadirat Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, karena atas rahmatnya kita dapat mengikuti kegiatan sosialisasi pemanfaatan statista untuk mendukung riset dalam keadaan sehat dan penuh semangat. Is it truly an honor for us to have Mrs. Mei Ting Teo with us today to share insight on how statista can support academic research. Perkenalkan, saya Pure yang akan bertugas sebagai MC sekaligus moderator pada kegiatan pagi hari ini. Adapun susunan acara pada pagi hari ini, yang pertama ada pembukaan, dilanjutkan sambutan Kepala Perpustakaan, ketiga pemaparan materi, selanjutnya sesi tanya jawab, dan yang terakhir penutup. Okay, without any further ado, let us begin the session. Memasuki acara yang kedua, yaitu sambutan dari Kepala Perpustakaan Universitas Muhammadiyah Surakarta kepada Ibu Maria Husnunisa SSMA, kami persilahkan.
Oke, terima kasih Mbak Bore. Suara saya kedengeran ya? Oke. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi
Salam
wabarakatuh.
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillahilladzi wassalatu wassalamu ala asrofil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi washabihi ajmain. Asyhadu an la ilaha illallah wa asyhadu anna Muhammadan rasulullah. Yang sama-sama kita hormati pada kesempatan hari ini narasumber Miss Mei Ting Teo. May Teng To Teo. Okay.
Hi,
Good
good
morning, May.
morning.
Good
You can
morning,
just call me May.
May. Okay,
Yes.
May. Okay. Client Success Manager Academia and Public Sector of Statista, and yang saya hormati juga Mbak Stephanie Susilo, perwakilan Statista di Indonesia. Alhamdulillah pada pagi hari ini kita bisa berkumpul di acara Zoom meeting sosialisasi pemanfaatan statista untuk mendukung riset. Oke, karena memang universitas atau perguruan tinggi itu tidak pernah lepas dari yang namanya penelitian. Nah, penelitian itu kita butuh bahan-bahan, baik itu referensi ataupun data-data. Dan statista itu memang setahu saya dia berisi data-data untuk bahan penelitian teman-teman semuanya, terutama di pasca sarjana yang berkuliah di S2 dan S3. Dan pada pagi hari ini kita khususkan pemanfaatan atau sosialisasi pemanfaatan statista itu pada mahasiswa S2 dan S3. Mungkin di lain waktu kita juga akan menjadwalkan untuk mahasiswa yang S1. Saya harap teman-teman semuanya, Bapak Ibu mahasiswa S2 dan S3 di UMS bisa memanfaatkan kesempatan pada pagi hari ini, bisa mendengarkan secara runtut, secara detail mungkin apa yang disampaikan oleh Miss Mei terkait dengan pemanfaatan statista ini. Itu saja mungkin dari saya ucapkan terima kasih banyak, selamat mendengarkan, selamat apa ya namanya, selamat belajar tentang pemanfaatan statista. Mudah-mudahan ke depannya statista yang sudah dilanggan oleh UMS ini bisa bermanfaat untuk teman-teman Bapak Ibu semuanya. Finally, I will to thank to Miss May and Miss Stephanie. Thank you so much. Apa ya? For your presence here is really an honor for us. Thank you. Billahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you so much.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Terima kasih atas sambutannya dan arahannya yang sangat inspiratif, Ibu Maria Husnunisa. Kemudian langsung saja kita memasuki acara inti, yaitu pemaparan materi mengenai pemanfaatan statista dalam mendukung riset dan akademik. As we know, Statista is one of the world-leading data and statistics platform, providing a comprehensive insights across industries, markets, social trends, and also the technology. As you guys know, also we already here with Miss May. Hello, Miss May. How are you? Nice to meet you.
Hello, Putri. Nice to
Hello.
meet you.
Nice to meet you. Okay, so without any further ado, we are honored to invite you to deliver your presentation, and time the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. So, good morning, everyone. My name is Ting, but you can just call me May, and I am the Client Success Manager for UMS. And today, I'll be sharing with everyone like how to make use of our platform to help you in your research work. So later during the session, if I'm too fast, do let me know. And then we will go through different components, and then later on we will also have Q&A at the end of it. So if any of you have any question, you can put inside the chat box, or later during the Q&A, you can unmute yourself. Okay, then in that case, maybe I will start sharing my screen first. 1 second. Okay, are you all able to view my screen from your side?
Yes, Miss.
Yes, no
Yes.
problem.
Yes.
No
Okay,
problem.
thank you. Perfect. So for today, you can actually see I have already go into the library e-journal page, and from here you'll be able to see Statista. So this is a new way of going to the platform. So from here, what you can do is you can go into this, and then you just log in your school credential, and you will be directed to this page over here. The other way for you to access the platform would be you can go into our statista.com, login campus, and then from here you'll be able to see your school, UMS, and then you can click on check access. 1 second, I'll just do a quick refresh. Yeah, so I will just quickly find the school again to show it to everyone. And from here, you can see your school. So this is the other way for you to find us. And then you can click on check access. And there you go. So you just have to sign in using your school credential, and then you'll be able to go into this page. Okay, so this is the new access method. All right, right now what we can do is I will go into the platform and I'll show you different ways to really get data that might help you in your work. So before I do that, maybe let me just switch off my camera to ensure the sharing is not affected. Later during the Q&A session, I will on it back. Okay. All right. So from here, what you can do is firstly, we can have a keyword search. So for example, today we are looking into e-commerce. And you see, you will be directed to this search result page. And over here, we have 42,000 data on e-commerce. And you can actually see we do have different components. So we have the red icon. This is actually our topic page. And moving down, you can see we also have the orange icon. So that is actually our reports. And then for the blue icon, that's actually known as our statistics. So not to worry, today what I will do is I will show you each of the components. And from here, we can also take a look. We also have the different content types. First thing first, maybe we can go into the topic page together. So today, let's say I'm looking into e-commerce worldwide. And now you'll be directed to our topic page. And in our topic page, you can actually filter by the different regions of your focus. So for example, If you are not looking into global data, you can change over here. It's pretty straightforward. So for example, we are looking into Indonesia e-commerce. So we can change it from here. Okay, and each of our topic page, you can actually see we have a very detailed uh, explanation and summary of the particular topic. So we have a lot of different information over here. And under each of this, we also include some links for you to look into. So you can see from here. And then we go down a little bit more. This is the part where you will be able to see a list of consolidated data for you to venture into. So for example, you can take a look. We have an overview. So we look into the industry as well as like some key indicators. And then we also have e-commerce users, leading platforms, payment methods, logistics, shopping behavior. So if you think like the data set here are really helpful for you, this is the part where you can go on to your right hand side over here. Just open in a new tab. And from here, same thing, you'll be able to have a quick overview of the table of content. So you'll be able to know for this report, what are some components that are being included inside this itself. And then on your right, you can actually download this into PowerPoint or PDF. So you can do your offline analysis. Okay, and then now we go back to the topic page again. And from here, you can actually see, for example, today I'm only focusing on e-commerce users. So we can go into the statistics directly. So over here, you can actually see this is actually our statistics page. And in our statistics page, we have a lot of different features. So maybe let me just go through with you first. So on your right, you'll be able to download the data set into PDF, Excel, PNG, or PPT. And not only that, we are also very transparent with our data set. So you'll be able to know where we actually get the data from. So from here, we have like the different information and we also have like the source link. Okay, and then moving to your left, one of the components that I think would be super helpful for all of you would be this citation over here. So you can see the citation. We have APA citation, Chicago, Harvard, MLA, Blue Book, IEEE. So from here, you can actually just put this into your reference page, and then this will save you a lot of time. Okay, and the next thing that I want to share would be this gear button over here. So for example, if you want to change to a different format, you can change it to a bar graph, or you can just view it as a table chart. Okay, and then moving on, let me just go down a little bit more. And in each of these statistics here, you can actually have a look into the summary of it. So this will allow you to understand the data set better. Okay, let's go back to this again. So we have actually seen one of our topic page already, and I also show you, like ways to download this into a report if you want to do offline analysis. And one last thing for you would be this related topic. So in each of our topic page, we will also include some relevant topics for you to look into. So for example, today we want to understand retail trade in Indonesia. We can go into this and you can actually see the interface will be the same, but the content will change accordingly. So now we have like looking into consumer expenditure, we look into leading retailers, we also look into some of the market players, as well as like consumer behavior. Maybe let me just showcase another way for you to do your research. What you can do is you can actually go to the top menu over here and we can click on statistics. So in this page, you'll be able to see a quick overview of all the different industry that we cover on the platform. So you can see we have advertising and marketing. We look into consumer goods and FMCG. We also have like finance related data. We also look into health, pharma, and medtech, transportation and logistics, as well as like travel, tourism, and hospitality. So with this, you'll be able to know we actually cover a wide range of industry as well as topics. So for now, let me just showcase an example for you to understand better. So for example, we are looking into technology and telecommunications. So in our industry page, you'll be able to see the different topics. So for example, this topic that we have selected, they have sub-components. So we look into consumer electronics, we look into household appliances, telecommunication, and we also include some reports that might be helpful for you. And over here, we will also include some trending facts and insights that might be helpful for you to understand the market better. So you can actually see this is like looking into smartphone, we look into PC, we look into semiconductors. So there are a lot of topics for you to venture into. Okay, and then we go down a bit more. And under our industry page, we will also have a very detailed definition. So you'll be able to know like how we define the particular industry. It's over here. Okay, then let's go down a little bit more. And under the industry page, we will also give you some suggestion in terms of certain topics that are related to technology and telecommunications. So you can actually see, we look into AI use in marketing. We look into like data centers in the Asia Pacific regions. We look into maybe let's say Internet of Things. So there are a lot of topics for you to deep dive, especially when you are doing your research assignment. Okay, and then we also have like Tech Trend 2025. The last portion over here would be different components in each of the subtopics that you see in here. So we have, let's say IT services, we look into AI chips, we look into data centers, we look into infrastructure. So we have a lot of components. And then let's say telecommunications. So we have 5G, 6G, and then we can see like we have like some smart cities. So all these have hyperlink. So if you want to deep dive into that topic, you can just click onto the hyperlink here. Pretty straightforward. Okay, now I just go back here again. And one of the things that I want to show you is maybe AI use in marketing. So you can just go into it. And under here, you can see, this is actually the topic page that I showcased just now. So from here, you have a very clear explanation of that particular topics. And then from here, you can see this is the list of consolidated data set that we have. So for now, let's say I'm looking into marketer plans to use AI in influencer marketing. So we can just go into this. And there you go. So you can just close this. From here, you can actually see the source will be very different. And now, since we are talking about sources, maybe I will just quickly show you a slide. Okay, so for this will allow you to understand a little bit better in terms of our data sources. So firstly, we have our primary research, which takes up half of the content on the platform. So as you can see from here, 49% consists of like our consumer insights, our market insights, and then we also have content coming from freely accessible secondary sources. So this is about 16%. Lastly, 35% of our data are exclusive secondary sources. So we purchase data set as well as establish partnership with different companies and then publish it onto the platform. So you don't have to worry about the credibility and reliability of the data. Okay, let me just close the slide for now. 1 second. Okay. So now we will go back up again. And the next portion that I want to showcase to all of you would be our research AI. So for research AI, I think it's really helpful because, right now we have a lot of AI players in the market. So for our research AI, something that is different is the data set. So the data set here are validated and it's credible, like what I mentioned just now. So you don't have to worry about the credibility set of the data. So with this, what we can do is we can actually put in our research question or the topics that we want to look into. So maybe today I want to know what is the market trends of the technology industry in Asia. So it's up to you how you want to ask the question. And one more good thing for you to note, our research AI do support different languages. So from your case, maybe if you're more familiar with Bahasa, you can put in Bahasa over here, and then the results will show you in Bahasa. But for now, because I don't speak Bahasa, so I'm not very familiar, I'll just use English to showcase it to everyone. Okay, and from here, you can actually see our research AI. It's like a chat function. So they will just pull out some relevant data set for you. And then from here, you can actually take a look on your right. You'll be able to see the list of sources. So this will allow you to go in depth into this particular component. Okay, now we can go down a little bit more first. And under here, you can see in each of our research AI results, we will show you this TLDR. So it stands for too long, didn't read. So with this, you can actually see at a quick glance some of the key insights regarding the topic that I have just selected. So we are looking into technology. So with this, in each of the findings, you can also see the number citation. So you'll be able to know where we actually get data from. Okay, and then now we can go down a little bit more. And from here, you can actually see our research AI is pretty smart. So they will give you some suggestions. So if you want to compare with different regions, or if you want to do a table, or maybe just want to get a summary, you can also do it from here. So for example, now maybe I want to just do a comparison. We can just click onto this. Okay, usually you will take a few seconds to pull the data. And then from here, you can actually see our research AI will give you the data set in a table format. So in this table format, you can actually see we have different segments. So we look into software, semiconductors, public cloud, IoT. So if you think the data set here, it's helpful for you, feel free to download this into CSV, and then you can migrate this into different data analysis tool that you are using from your side. And then under here, we also have some summary. So this is like a comparison between, let's say, North America versus like Asia in terms of the technology sector. And then we can also ask the research AI to give us some cybersecurity trends and then market comparison, which is what we did just now, as well as like some of the summary between the two comparison. Okay, and then now let's say if I have a new project or a new assignment, I can go into this again and I can ask another question. So for now, maybe conduct a SWOT analysis for me regarding advertising in Indonesia. Maybe on something that's more localized. And then here you can see, so this tool is very, very powerful. So we have like the SWOT analysis that is being conducted by the tool already. So we look into the strength, we look into the weaknesses, the opportunity, as well as the threats. And if you want to do like comparison between neighboring country, you can use these next steps to always help you. And over here, this is the part where you can actually go into the sources itself. And now since we are looking into this particular data set, I will just share a little bit more with all of you. So now we are actually going through our own in-house research data. So this is actually our market insights. Maybe I will just take a step back. What you can do is you can actually, same thing, go to the top menu again. And under here, you have this insights. So now we are looking into market insights. So let's say we want to, I'll just go back to the main page first to show you the different topics that we cover on the platform. So under our market insights, we look into advertising, we look into finance, we look into health, we also look into technology. So they have like 9 different topics. For today, I will just focus on 2 to show you how you can make full use of this to help you to analyze the data. Okay, so the first one that I want to show you would be advertising. So just now we were at this page. So for advertising, we have like different subsegment again. So you can see we have like in-app advertising, and then for media, we look into TVs and video, and then under entertainment, we have a lot of different components. So for now, let's just focus on advertising. And in this page, same thing here. I will just go through the feature of it, and then after that, we'll go into the content. So under our market insights, you'll always see the highlights. So the highlights will give you a quick summary of some of the key metrics. So we have ad spending. We also look into like the revenue itself. And on the second tab over here, you can actually see the definition. So we also show you how we define our advertising market. And then if you want to know a little bit more, you can actually go into the structure components, and you can also go into the additional information to understand the topic better. Moving on to the third column over here, we have the in-scope and out-scope in our market insights. So if you want to understand the data set better, this is the part we will recommend you to go into. So you can see for advertising, we look into traditional advertising. We look into digital advertising. We also look into influencer advertising. But we are not looking into sponsorship, product placement, as well as like commission-based affiliate systems. Okay. The fourth column here would be the market structure. So for advertising, like what I mentioned just now, we have a lot of sub-components. So we have TV and video advertising, social media advertising. So if you want to go in depth, you can go it from the topics and then you can just click onto it. For now, I will just leave it as advertising. And then moving on would be the reports. So in each of our market insights, we will also include a relevant report for you to understand the market better. Pretty straightforward. And the last portion here would be the methodology. So for our market insights, we can provide a very detailed methodology for you. I will just click onto it and show it to everyone today. So for this methodology, it's about 60 pages long. Because we don't have much time, I won't go through everything, but I will just show you the agenda page. So under the agenda page, you can actually see we have market sizing, we look into forecasting, we look into market share, we also look into quality assurance. So this will also be very helpful if you want to understand how we actually get the data for our market insights. All right, then let me just move on to this. Okay, and now you can actually see our market insight is very interactive. So first thing over here is you can actually filter by the market. So for now, maybe I'm done with advertising. I want to focus on another topic for my research assignment. We can actually change it from here. So maybe I'm looking into media. Then we can just do a swap. Okay, and then on the right, you can actually see the region. So for now, we want to focus on something that is more local. We can put Indonesia and we can change it. So now we are looking into media in Indonesia. And on your right, you will be able to see the different key metrics for the market insights. So we have revenue, analyst opinion. So this will be helpful for you to do your thesis writing. So you can see we have like customer preferences, market trends, and then we also factor in some macroeconomic factors in this particular topic. And then from here, you can actually see, like now maybe I want to understand the users. So for this, you can actually play around with the chart. So you can put it into a bar graph or you can use it into a table format if you want to import this into your Excel sheet. And in each of our data sets here, you can actually see the update frequency. And then for this, like what I mentioned, this is our in-house research. So it's under our Statista market insights. Okay, so quite straightforward. So from here, you can also hover your mouse and you'll be able to see each of the components. There you go. And if this is the particular chart that is helpful for you, feel free to download this using the download button here. Okay, and let's say if you think the key matrix over here are really helpful for you, that's where you can use this download button. And then you can download this into basic export or CSV. And then that's where you can integrate into your own data analysis too. Okay, and then one more thing from my end here would be the comparison. So if you want to compare with different countries, you can do it. So because right now I'm based in Singapore, maybe I just want to compare with Singapore market, as well as like Malaysia market, Thailand. So I can choose up to 4, but for now I'll just choose 3 and then we can click on show comparison. So with this, you can actually take a look. Now we are looking into 4 different countries. And I usually use line graph because I think it's way easier to visualize. And if I want to go by different segment, I can do it. So maybe I'm interested in cinema. So we can see the revenue of cinema in the 4 different countries. And then if you want to know more, you can just hover your mouse and you'll be able to see the line very clearly. And at the bottom part, we also look into like revenue by digital methods, revenue by traditional methods, as well as like different segment. that you can see from here. So it's pretty interesting. Okay. Now, what I want to share also would be the citation. So this is also helpful. So if you're using the particular data on our market insights, feel free to use this citation button here, and then you can cite it accordingly. So you can just copy and paste. Okay, I'll just close it for now. And you can also change the currency. So by default, it will be USD, but if you want to change it, feel free to change it from here. All right, now let's jump back to the main page for our market insights. As I mentioned just now, I want to show you another topic. So the next one that I want to share with everyone will be the global indicators. So for global indicators, it allows you to understand macroeconomic indicators and then understanding like the GDP, employment, inflation. So this might be helpful if you want to know like how certain country is doing in the business world. So in each of these, you can see we have a lot of different indicators, but something that I want to tap on will be macroeconomy. Under here, you can actually take a look, like what I mentioned. So we have this key matrix and then the market definition. So you can actually take a look. I won't go through in depth in terms of the different columns. So I share with you just now. It's the same, just that the content will be a little bit different. And under here, we can change the country. So now we are looking into the local market. There you go. So this is looking into 2020 to 2030 data set. From here, you can actually see like the GDP itself, the percentages, as well as like public finance. So this will be helpful in terms of like for you to analyze certain macroeconomic indicators for a particular country. And one more thing to share, you'll be able to see the sources here as well. So this is by our in-house research, as well as using data from some reliable data sets. So you can see it's coming from World Bank, IMF. Yeah, I'll just show it to you. There you have it. Okay. Let me just go back up and we can do a quick Q&A because we have covered quite a lot already. Just wanted to check with everyone if you have any question for me.
I think for now, the chat box is also still empty.
Mhm.
When there are questions, I will update you.
Thank you, Stephanie. Okay, then in that case, let me just continue. So the next thing that I want to share with everyone today would be our daily data. So for this daily data, let me just explain. Oh, wait, I think I see someone raise the hand. Norel Huda. Yep, feel free to unmute yourself.
Yeah. Hello, good morning, Miss May.
Hi, good morning.
I'm a PhD student at
Mm.
OMS. Actually, I have a question. Like,
Uh-huh.
how frequently are the market data set updated? And if we already cited and then we want to do revision for the update, like, how can we do it?
That's a very good question, Huda. So for this, right, in each of our data set, you can actually see the update frequency. So maybe let me just quickly go back to one of it. For example, let me just choose one. Let's say we're looking into energy. I'll just choose one of the things to show you. Maybe we are looking into this energy industry. So from here, you can actually see this part, like the date of update. And then if you want to go in depth, you can actually see by this. For example, the statistics itself. So this is actually in June 2025. So from here, what you have to do is you can actually just use this citation here to help you, and then you can just update accordingly. So it depends on the topic or the data set that you have utilized. If you feel like this is not so up to date and you want something more up to date, and then you can actually explore the platform. And if you find something that is new, that is helpful for you, feel free to always just use this citation here. And then it's really done properly for you. And then you can just update accordingly in your references page. And one more
Thank
thing,
you so much.
no problem. To add on, I want to also share with you this is actually the third-party source. So for third-party sources, sometimes the data frequency will be different. For our market insights over here, let's say we are looking into health. Let's say pharmaceuticals. So under this, you can actually see like the update frequency. So for this one, the data is updated in October. And this year, we will also have another update. So stay tuned. And same thing, if you want to use the more up-to-date data, always use the citation here. So this is actually done properly for you already. Yeah. Okay. Then maybe
Yeah,
I'll
clear. Thank you.
no problem. Then now maybe let me just continue. So we're looking into the daily data. I'll share a little bit more for everyone to understand better. So for our daily data, it's a bit like a news store. You can take it as a news store. So every day we'll publish 5 different infographics covering global data. So it's like what's going on right now in the world, some of the trending topics that might be helpful for people to really understand like what's going on right now. So over here, you can actually see like this looking into like world leaders. We look into maritime oil because right now what's happening in the world. So oil is also like a crucial part of it. So you can see from here. We also look into AI because like everyone is using AI. So this is pretty interesting. And then at the bottom part of here, we will also show you the entire list of infographics that we have. So maybe now I want to focus more on the AI benefits. So we can just go into this. So in each of our data, our daily data, we will show you the publication date as well. So you can see this was published by our data journalist in February 27. And then from here, he will show you a lot of information. So in each of the information, he also includes some links for you to deep dive into the topics. And this chart itself, you can download and then you can put it into your presentation deck, into your presentation deck. And this is the part where you can see like the benefits as well as the risks for AI itself. And under our daily data, we also have the citation here. So same thing, you can just copy and paste. Okay, maybe let me just show one more examples. Let's say we want to understand Coca-Cola versus Pepsi. So this was published on 26th of February. And then under here, you can actually see like some of the different surveys that we have conducted. So I think we can actually have a quick look. I think Coca-Cola is like one of the top soft drinks that is consumed. And then from here, you can actually see the survey period as well as where the source come from. So talking about this, you can see this is coming from our consumer insights. So later on, we will go into that and I'll show you how you can make use of the data set to help you to analyze the data. Okay. So now let's go back up. And we have actually gone through, maybe I'll just do a quick recap before we go into another segment that I have today. So that will be the consumer insights. So for consumer insights, it's a little bit different. The dashboard is also very different. So we will need a bit more time to understand better. So the first thing that we did just now was a keyword search. So for example, we want to know like country data, we can just go by the country itself. And then you can actually take a look over here. And if you want to know, like, let's say different brands, you can just search, like, for example, Nike. Yep, so this is like the keyword search you can play around with. And then the next thing that I kind of go on would be this statistics here. So just now during my session, I did show everyone the industry overview. So under the industry overview, you can see these are all the different topics that we have on the platform. Okay, and then moving on, we go into Research AI. So Research AI allows you to really quickly pull data set. So like what I shared with everyone just now. So maybe now I want to find out more about like maybe pesto analysis instead of SWOT analysis now on semiconductors. So in Asia, so with this, you can just ask the question, and like what I mentioned just now, you can use different languages. So it support different languages. So feel free to use your native language and then do your research. So I'll just quickly show everyone the results of this PESTEL analysis. There you go. So you can see they will just give you a breakdown of it. And then same thing, the next steps that I share with everyone, you can use this as a guidance in terms of how you want to explore your research topics. And then the last one that we have touched on is our market insights. So under our market insights, I also share with everyone 2 topics. So we look into advertising, we also look into global indicators. So the components of it, it's pretty much similar. So for you, it's really just the content itself. So I have shown everyone the functionality as well as how you can do like country comparisons. Okay, and then now let me just go back up. And under here, we also have the services. So from your side, let's say if you need any help, like maybe after the session today, you still feel that you want more support, you can come over here. And then you can actually see like this is some quick tutorial that my colleagues have actually done for us. So you can just go into the YouTube tutorial and then understand more. So you can actually see we have break them into different components. Yeah. So these are some of the steps for you to also just venture into. And over here, we also have some webinars, which I think will also be interesting. So if you would like to sign up for it, you can keep a lookout in this page. So we have a few different webinars that we conduct. So you can actually filter by the different components. So we have this data on stage. Like we're looking into AI because now AI is the hot topics. And then we also have certain webinars that might be helpful for you. So you can see also AI. So this is the trending topic now in the market. We also have training hub, but for this, I think you won't really use it because like today I have this onboarding for everyone. So I think from your library side, they will also share the recording with you. Okay, and then now let's jump into our consumer insights. So we go into the insights tab and we go into consumer insights. Okay, so under consumer insights, you can actually see the interface is a little bit different. So I'll just quickly share with everyone first some of the topics that we cover as well as the country that we cover. So for the topic here, you can see, so this is actually looking into more of consumer behavior. So these are the surveys that we have conducted, and we provide you with a dashboard with the data set that you can do your analysis. So you can see these are all the different topics we have right now in our survey. So we have insurance, we have food and nutrition. So feel free to explore according to your research assignment. And then the next one that I want to share with you would be the country that we covered. right now in our survey. So we have a lot of different regions, and I think something that would be relevant for everyone would be this portion over here. And some of you might be wondering what is the asterisk on each of the country stands for. So for this, it's basically our core country that we focus on, and we will publish more frequent updates. So for example, you can see over here, Indonesia is one of our core country that we look into. So we will try to publish up to like 4 updates per year, like 2 to 4 updates per year. And then for now, what we can do is we can just go into it. Okay, over here, like what you can see, the interface is very different. So I will go through with everyone a step-by-step tutorial in terms of how you can get certain data set and some of the techniques you can use for you to do like cross tabulation or maybe do a country to country comparison as well as like year to year comparison. Okay, now we go into this. So you can see the list of country that we covered, like what I'm showing you just now. For now, I will just leave it as Indonesia. And on the right, you can see the update. So this is the updates that we have. So in 2025, we have 2 updates. So this year we will have more updates as well. So stay tuned for that. And the third button here would be the data view. So if you would like to see the number of respondents, you can use this. Or if you want to know the population size, you can use this over here. Okay, now we will go to the left-hand side. So under the left-hand side, you will be able to see a list of survey items. The first thing that I would do would be the characteristics as well as demographics. So let's say today we want to know the generations of different target audience. So you can actually see, I'll just share with everyone using a heat map. So from my side, I will always use a heat map because I think it's really easy for me to have a quick glance, like which is the highest vote. So from here, we can actually take a look like what I mentioned just now. So we have the absolute, we have the population, as well as the percentage. So you can actually see for this survey that is conducted in 2025, we have 1,284 from millennials. We have 1,231 from Gen Z, and then like 900 from Gen X, and then about 70 from baby boomers. So with that, you can also take a look into the percentages. Not only that, we can also break down by gender. So if you want to know, so you can see it's pretty consistent. So it's about difference of like 5 to 6%. And if you want to also know more, like understanding the target audience that took part in the survey, you can go by in a relationship, or maybe you can also go by education level. So if you want to know whether what's the education level like, or maybe those that participate in this survey, are they working or not working, or like maybe which industry they are from. So you can deep dive into a very detailed level. For now, what I will do is we'll go into the topic first. So for example, today I want to know fashion, or maybe I want to find out more about shopping. I think shopping is quite interesting. So we can use shopping as an example today. First one that I want to tap on would be this. We want to find out like how Indonesians feel about shopping. So over here, you can actually see I will sort by heat map again. And what I would do is maybe I will just close this too because it's a little bit messy. But if you want to on it back, you can just always come to the button here and then you can on it back accordingly. Okay, and under here we can analyze the data set together. So from here, we are looking into attitudes towards online shopping. And from here, we can actually know which are the top 3 selection that our respondents have selected. So the first one they have selected is customer reviews on the internet are very helpful for them when it comes to online shopping. And then when they want to buy any big purchase, they will always do research first on the internet. And then the last one is that they want to see and also touch before they buy the product. And if you want to break down by the category that they purchase, or maybe I want to also know about the social media shopping. So you can choose a lot of survey questions. So by default, everything will reflect in the rows. So later on, I'll show you 2 ways to do cross tabulation. But for now, I will just analyze the data with you. So under here, you can see same thing. We will go by top 3. So for the categories right now for online purchases, the first one we have, it's clothing, followed by cosmetic and body care. And then the third one is shoes. So with this, you'll be able to know which market have more buyers. And then now we can go down a bit more. We can also see like a question that we have asked them is, have you bought something on social media in the past 12 months? So we can see 73% of the respondent in Indonesia have actually buy something on social media in the past 12 months. I think some of you might be wondering, what do we mean by the past 12 months? So that's where you can use the survey methodology here. And under here, you can actually see we do provide a very detailed one. So you can see the questionnaire in either English version or in Indonesian. And then this is the number of respondents that took part in the survey. And for them, they are aged between 18 to 64 years old. And for the survey time period, it's actually 2 waves. So it's from 1st of July 2025 to 11 December 2025. So it's pretty up to date. And then under here, we also embed some links for you to understand more about the survey itself. Okay, we'll close it for now. And now we will go into something that is a little bit more exciting. So what we can do is that you can see over here, you can actually drag. So for example, now I want to do a comparison. I can just put this up. Or the next one will be using this button here. You can just put it accordingly. But usually from my side, I will just drag it because I think it's way easier, you just drag accordingly. So once you're done with that, I'll just remove this, for example, remove the item. And under here, you can see, so this is a cross tabulation that we are doing right now using our consumer insights data. Okay, so now we can actually analyze the data set together. So from here, you can actually see, same thing, we are still focusing on shopping. So now we know like the top 3 are this. And if you want to break down into different target audience, we can use this to help us. So we can actually see like for customer reviews, 88% of them are from baby boomer. So for them, they feel that customer reviews are very helpful. And the second one would be you can take a look millennials. So 66% of them when they buy any major purchase, they will do research first. So this is coming from the millennial group. And the third one that we mentioned just now, so you can see it's pretty consistent. So all of them, it's about 30 to 38%. So it's within the 30 to, it's within the 3 range. And we can go down now. And from here, we can actually see, for example, like the top 3 that we mentioned, clothing, cosmetic, as well as shoe. So we can actually take a look into who are the target audience that are doing all the shoppings. So for clothing, I think majority of them are from Gen Z. So 66% of them are from Gen Z, whereas for cosmetic and body care, 56% are from millennials. And for shoes, the most it's from millennials as well, so 45%. So with this, you can derive your own hypothesis and also come out with different chart to help you. So from this part, you can actually choose the different chart type as well. So you can change it to a column chart or you can change it to a bar graph. Okay, and then on the top, you can actually download this into CSV if you want to have the data set itself. Okay, so this is the first way for you to do cross tabulation. The other way would be making sure the column here is empty. So I'll just remove this. And under here, you can actually see once the column here is empty, you'll be able to see the compare button. Maybe let me just show it to you again. So once you are doing a cross tabulation from here, you will not be able to see the compare button. But once you remove this, the compare button will appear. So this allows you to do comparison between country as well as year comparison, which I mentioned just now at the start. So from here, we can choose maybe Singapore as well as like Malaysia. So I'll choose 3 countries first. It's up to you, like which country you want to focus on. But to make it clearer, I'll just choose 3 countries so that it's easier for me to visualize the data set. Heat map. And over here, we can see that still focusing on shopping. So for this itself, you can take a look into the percentages. So for Indonesia, I think customer reviews is the first one that we have, 79%. But let's say in Malaysia, I think for them is research. 76% of them, when they do any major purchase, they will do research. So this allows you to know how respondents behave differently in each of the different country. So if you want to use another topic, let's say social media. So I want to know what's their attitudes towards online advertising for the 3 countries. So what you can do is you can just put this at the top. So this will appear the first one. So you don't have to go, scroll down. So what you can do is from here, you can click on compare. And the topic will change. So this is just looking into advertising. Let's analyze the data set again. So from here, the top 3 that we can see for Indonesia, it's that they don't mind advertising if they can get something for free. The second one is that influencer really also boost the product. So if any celebrities or influencer advertise the product, people will have more chance of buying it. And the third one is that they are annoyed by advertising on the internet. And now we can go on to Singapore market. So for Singapore, the top 3 a little bit different. So the first one is that for Singapore people, they feel that the first one is they are annoyed by advertising. And then second one is like they don't mind advertising if they can get something for free. And then the last one is actually ad blockers. So they use ad blockers when they are using the internet. So it's pretty interesting. And now we can go into Malaysia. So for Malaysia, the first one we have here, it's don't mind advertising if they can get something for free, followed by influencer and celebrity advertising. And then the last one is that they get annoyed. Yeah, so with this, we can really analyze each of the market better. And the next thing for you to do is, let's say you want to know how it changes across the year. You can use this button here. You can do a swap. And maybe I'll just select all because it's easier. But for this, some of the items might not be available because it depends on the survey data set that we have conducted. So with this, you can see right now I'm looking into Indonesia market on online advertising. So you can see how it changes across the year. I think the top three remain the same, just that the percentages itself have some differences. So you can see in 2022, 48% of them feel that advertising is okay as long as they get something for free. And we can also analyze from here, like last year, there's an increase. So it increased by 5%. So this allows you to know that, for example, certain company, they should really, when they're doing advertising, they should give like some freebies for them to really make this marketing campaign more effective. And if you want to go down by different countries, you can see from here. So you can see from here is like the advertising for free content. It's actually maybe in 2024 there was a drop for Singapore market, but last year there was an increase by 6%. So this allows you to really analyze the data in terms of how it changes across the years. And the last one is Malaysia market. So you can actually analyze accordingly. So I think in 2020, celebrities as well as influencer is not so popular because only 19% of them will buy the products. But you can see across the year, there's a very big jump. So from 2020, it's 19%, but in 2025, it became 43%. So it's about 50% jump. So this allows you to know how powerful social media is right now, especially in like the Malaysia market. Okay, let's go back up. And over here, you can also download this into CSV. So if you want the dataset itself for you to create your own chart using PowerPoint, you can just do it from here. And then if you want to know the data view, you can you can choose from this, and then you'll be able to see the number of respondents. But usually, I won't put this because it's a little bit messy. So that's why I will just close this and then I will just use the percentage for me to analyze the data set. Okay, maybe let me just take a quick pause because we have went through quite a bit. I just wanted to check with everyone any question from me regarding all the things that we have went through in terms of like the cross tabulation, in terms of like the survey items.
Okay, so basically there are already several questions in the chat box, and I already tried to answer some of them. Perhaps the ones in English, if there is anything you want to add, please feel free to. But the first question is actually in Indonesian. So, Bapak atau Ibu Alfa Zaki, he or she is asking three different questions. The first one is basically whether Statista offers local or regional type of data, let's say for each city in Indonesia, or just like a national level data. And then he or she is also asking how to filter or looking for the specific data for specific city in Indonesia. And then he or she is also asking about the market insights data, whether it can be filtered by bigger cities in Indonesia, or is it just like a national level data? So basically, I already answered that. The first one, Statista is basically a global data platform. Of course, for looking at city level data, researchers tend to look for those type of data in the local government agencies, right? Like the Department of Statistics Singapore, or like BPS, yeah, or statistical agency in Indonesia. Statista here is to complement or to do a comparison with global data, right? And then to filter specific data with specific city, basically you can utilize the search box. We have for some types of industry where those cities probably will be good for, then we'll probably will have that data in our platform. But of course, it depends on the availability of the data itself. And then the market insights, I answered that right now it can only be
National level.
filtered, yeah, by the KPI, yeah, or the segmentation of the industry. And if you want to compare it, it can only be compared with other countries or other political region or other continents, but cannot be by cities comparison. Yeah.
That's right. Thank you, Stephanie. So I think, yeah, for this, like what Stephanie mentioned, so for us, like the cities level data, it's also depending on the data availability. But right now, what we have is actually more of a national level in terms of the different countries. But if maybe I can just quickly add on. So under our survey items here, we do have one portion. I think it's pretty interesting. Let me just share it with everyone. There you go. I will just put this at the front. There you have it. So for cities wise, we do break down into very detailed only for our consumer insights because this is done by our in-house researcher. So you can actually see, like most of the respondents are from West Java, and then the second one is from Jakarta, and then the third one is from East Java. So this allows you to break down by different regions that they are staying in the part of Indonesia. Okay. Let me see. Then I do see like there are still other questions that Stephanie also helped to answer already in the chat box. Maybe let me answer the question from Hafiza. Hafiza, I saw that you raised your hand. Feel free to ask.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Thank you very much for the wonderful presentation and the detailed explanation you have provided. It was all new for me as I am a social sciences student. So I think helping me in my quantitative results. My concern is about its authenticity. Of course, the results would be authentic. So is there any way to verify the results from other sources? Does Statista provide us links where we can verify the results provided by other researchers? And my second question is about its citation. So whenever we are citing the quantitative or statistics from this website, should we cite Statista every time, or can we have some other sources also? For example, if Statista has used some other researchers' concluding remarks. So I'm just concerned, how can we verify the data? Or if I want to cite some other resources rather than Statista, but I'm taking data from here, but want to verify and give citation from other research, empirical research. So is it possible?
Yes. So thank you so much for your question, Hafiza. So from my end, let me just demonstrate it to you. First thing first, we can go into a particular statistic. So for example, the social network. So you can actually see from here, this is coming from We Are Social. And like what I mentioned in my presentation just now, so this allows you to go into the source link. And from here, you can actually see the exact sources. So if you want to know more about the methodology or understand the data set better, you can go into the source link itself. And then from here, you can understand more. And this will also help you to back up in terms of the credible of the data set itself. So you can see. From our side here is we give you a very detailed summary. And then in each of this summary, you can see the link itself. So this is one way for you to verify the data set. The other way for our in-house research that I mentioned just now, it's under the market insights. And let's say we are looking into finance data. So from here, you can see like the methodology page. So this is the part that I mentioned just now. So this part will allows you to understand the quality assurance as well as like how we actually derive the data set. So this will also allows you to justify the credibility of the data set itself. So and the next one that I want to add on, the chart here. So you can see we have actually three different components. So we have 49% from our in-house research, which is the one that I show you, the methodology page. And then we also have 16% coming from freely accessible data. And not to worry, we will always include the source. So you can go into that link itself. And then 35% are from partnership. So for this, let me just share it again. Like for example, this one is actually one of the partnership that we have worked with this organization. And then this is the part where you can go into the report page. I hope this answer your question, Hafiza.
Yes, thank you very much. It's much clear now. Thank you, Ms. P.
No problem, Hafiza. All right. Maybe before we continue the Q&A, can I just quickly share with everyone two more components of our consumer insights, because I want to make sure you know how to make full use of this platform. So under here, right, the next thing that we have is actually the keyword search. So for example, you want to save time and you do not want to, go through the survey item one by one. You can key in your question here, and then you can just add the survey items accordingly. Okay, so this is another way for you to do that. And then the next one that I want to share with everyone today is also the surveys. So right now we have our global surveys that I show you. We do have 4 different other surveys that we conduct. The function of it is pretty much the same, so I won't go through in depth, but I just want to share with everyone. We look into brand KPIs, we look into consumer sentiment and trends across various industry. We also look into media usage across platform as well as audiences. So if you want to change accordingly, feel free to just change from here. All right. One more point that I want to also share with everyone. Sorry if I'm a bit too fast, because I think we left with like 13 minutes. The next one will be the target group. So for this target group, it allows you to really choose your own target audience. So for example, my research assignment want me to understand Gen Y. So what we can do here is we can create target group and we can break them. Usually I would recommend you to go by the characteristics and demographic. And from here, you go by generation. So like what I mentioned just now, maybe my research assignment is looking into just Gen Y in Indonesia. So we can change from here. So if you want to go that in depth in terms of like the education level, you can also do it from here. So if you want to just looking into let's say, let me see. You're looking into Gen Y students. Or like maybe you want to know into like schools, like maybe what else? Okay, maybe just Gen Y students. So now we have and trainees. So you can choose as many filters as you want, but sometimes I want something that's more broad. So now we just want to focus on Gen Y. So we can choose from here. So we just put Gen Y students like for now. So I'll just put in this tree. Okay, and then we can save it. And from here, you can take a look. So we have the Gen Y students right now. And same thing, I will just go by this. For example, I want to know how Gen Y students feel about traveling. And then we can change. I'll just remove everything. And there you have it. So we can actually take a look. Like for example, Gen Y students, when they're traveling, they will book accommodation, car rentals spontaneously via their smartphone. And if we want to create another target group, so maybe we want to focus on gender. Maybe I want to find out more about male in the let's say the Gen Z respondents. So you can see now we are focusing on Gen Z males. So it's up to you in terms of how you would like to filter. And for now, we can save it. So now we're focusing on Gen Z males. And then for them, we want to know what's the attitudes towards online advertising. So you can actually see for Gen Z emails, they don't mind advertising if they can get free content, so 53% of them. And then like they will buy products if it's influencer and celebrities are using them and advertise it. And then they also get a not advertising. Yeah. We also show you some predefined target groups. So you can also use these to help you if you know like some of this might be helpful for your research assignment. Okay, so I think this is pretty helpful. So let's say if you feel like this is wrong, so what you can do is you can just delete from here and then you can create a new one. So just use the pencil icon here and then yeah, feel free to just delete accordingly if this is something that is not so helpful for you. Okay. All right, so we still have 10 minutes. So now what I will do is we'll go through the Q&A. I see a few questions coming from the chat box.
I think you can try to demonstrate Pak Sunardi's question.
Uh-huh.
So he has two questions. The first one, I have created an account on Statista and searched for data related to my topic about social media users in Indonesia. After reviewing several sources, I
Mm-hmm.
finally found reliable and trustworthy data in Statista.
Mm-hmm.
Could you explain how to properly cite data from Statista in academic writing? I think you mentioned this
Mm.
a while ago, but maybe um, help
Yep.
to demonstrate again. And then the second question he has, how can I ensure that the data about social media users in Indonesia that I found on Statista is the most recent and up to date?
Okay. Thank you, Steph,
Sure.
as well as Suradi for your question. So for the first one, like how do you cite properly for your academic writing? So this is the part where you can see the citation button here. So you can cite according to the requirement that your assignment is asking you for. So let's say if you are looking into Harvard, you can just copy and paste it and put it into your references page. And the other way, let's say if you are using our let me just go back here. So under this market insights, if you think this is so helpful for you, you can cite from here. So you can cite from APA, MLA, and then you can just use it. And talking about the frequency of the updates, so like what I mentioned, under here you can actually see the update frequency. And for this one itself, you can also see from here, as well as like the details itself. So for this is actually from October 2025. So this will allows you to know like whether if it's up to date. Okay. And then one more thing, let's say if you are looking into, because like what you mentioned, you are doing a search on social media. So let's say I'm looking into this one. So from here, you will be able to go into the details, and then same thing, this is also coming from the survey that's conducted in October 2025. So under the citation here, you can actually see. So this allows you to know like how up to date the data is. So I hope this answer your question, Suradi. All right. Let's move on. I do see another question from Sujud. Sorry if I pronounce it wrongly. So are all statistics reliable and can be used in articles, or do we have to double check? So this is also a very good question. So like what I mentioned at the start, our statistics data are reliable and credible because it's vetted by our analysts. So you don't have to worry about the credibility of it. And you can use it as long as you do the proper citation here. Okay. Any more questions? Feel free to raise your hand and then we can talk via Zoom. Or if anyone feel that there are still some portion that you are not very familiar, you can let me know, and then I can also go through one more time because we still have 5 minutes before the session end.
Bagaimana Saudara Sunardi? Pak Sunardi, apakah ada feedback untuk Miss May terkait jawabannya tadi? Atau yang lain, apakah ada yang masih ingin ditanyakan lagi? Bisa menuliskan pertanyaannya di chat box ataupun raise hand untuk melakukannya secara bicara gitu ya. Mhm. Bagaimana? Apakah masih adakah yang ingin ditanyakan?
Okay, I think I have one question under the Q&A portion by a participant. So it mentioned, thank you for your excellent explanation, and I apologize for the poor internet connection. I have a question regarding the downloaded data. Are any of the downloaded file in RIS or BIBTX format that we can use in Mandarin? Unfortunately, right now for Statista, what we offer it's only for version, so PDF, Excel, PNG, or PPT. I hope this I hope this clarified the question. Okay. Maybe while we are waiting for question, what I can do is I will also show you one more page. So if you would like to know our sources, you can actually go into this, our sources here. And then there you have it. So you can have a look in terms of what are some of the data partners, as well as like some data set that we have obtained from like third-party sources.
Okay, mungkin I would like to add one point. So basically, Ting already showed our research AI just now, just as an additional information. You can also put your prompt or insert your prompt in Indonesian. So it's not, it's not English only, but you can use Indonesian as well. Yeah.
Maybe
Jadi
Steph,
untuk
do you
Huh?
maybe do you mind just typing one quick bahasa for me? I will just put it here to show them anything like what is the market trend of social media.
Oke, jadi untuk research AI ini bisa pakai bahasa Indonesia ya Bapak Ibu. Saya akan coba kasih satu kata apa kalimat dalam bahasa Indonesia untuk dimasukkan meeting di research AI biar bisa demonstrasikan untuk Bapak Ibu nanti hasilnya kalau dalam bahasa Indonesia seperti apa ya. Okay, I just
thank you. Okay, I will just copy. 1 second. I'll just put it here. So this is the question that Stephanie have wrote for me because from here maybe Steph, this is looking into hotel industry. I think so, right?
Yes, yeah. Jadi sebagai contoh hotel ya. As an example, I put hotel, but you can also insert your preferred topic. Yeah.
Thank you. So from here you can see I'm using bahasa. there you go. So this will be in your native language. And then from here, same thing, you can see where this is coming from. And then they will change the next steps for you. So it'll be in Bahasa. So you can do it based on what I see. It's a table format. May I know what is this, Steph? This is
It's like a growth for
the growth,
yeah,
for
the
hotel.
past 10 years, yeah.
There you go. And then this one I think is summary, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, summary.
So feel
Yeah.
free to use this to help you, to save time and also pull out data properly.
Ya, jadi research AI ini bisa digunakan juga sebagai tools ya untuk desktop research. Kalau misalnya teman-teman lagi mager misalnya untuk explore satu-satu, karena topik di Statista ini ada sekitar 170-an topik ya. Jadi kalau misalnya lagi mager untuk cari satu-satu, bisa mulai di research AI dulu, masukkan pertanyaannya. Nanti si research AI akan mencoba untuk menampilkan summary ya atau ringkasan ataupun sekaligus menampilkan sumber yang bisa teman-teman lihat lebih lanjut di Statista. Sama mungkin saya tambahan satu poin ya. Jadi istilahnya Statista ini memang platform untuk data global, teman-teman. Jadi kami tidak bermaksud untuk menggantikan BPS ya, karena pasti kalau untuk data tingkat lokal atau regional biasanya untuk customer lain ataupun untuk peneliti pasti akan mengarah ke BPS dulu, karena bagaimanapun pemerintah setempat pasti punya data untuk ini ya, untuk tingkat lokal yang lebih baik seperti itu. Sementara Statista ini hadir dengan data-data perbandingan. Jadi seandainya teman-teman ada satu penelitian yang tadinya butuh untuk ke puluhan website ya, jadi lebih dimudahkan lah karena kami punya data partner itu sekarang sudah lebih dari 40.000 ya, sekitar 40.000-an data partner. Jadi menghemat waktu untuk teman-teman juga sebagai perbandingan juga dengan data-data tingkat regional atau global seperti itu. Dan seberapa sering pengupdatean data di Statista itu tergantung dari topik dari data tersebut juga. Jadi kalau ketersediaan perkembangan data untuk topik tersebut memang niche ya atau memang lambat, tentu saja di Statista tidak akan secepat itu juga. Karena kami sekali lagi untuk meng-ensure atau meyakinkan kredibilitas dan juga kualitas dari data yang kami tampilkan di Statista, kami perlu waktu untuk melakukan verifikasi dan juga validasi terhadap data tersebut. Gitu sih teman-teman kurang lebih ya. Terima kasih sudah hadir untuk sesi training kali ini. Kalau misalnya dibutuhkan lagi, bisa dihubungin ke Perpustakaan atau ke Bu Unun ya. Jadi nanti kita bisa adakan lagi sesering mungkin untuk training ini. Seperti itu. Oke, silakan dikembalikan ke Bu Putri sebagai moderator.
Oke. Baik, karena tadi juga sudah dijelaskan beberapa hal dari Ibu Stefani, kira-kira sebelum kita lanjut ke sesi yang selanjutnya, saya ingin bertanya sekali lagi, apakah dari Bapak Ibu peserta masihkah ada yang ingin ditanyakan atau sudah bisa kita cukupkan sampai di sini?
Cukup.
Cukup, Kak.
Cukup. Alhamdulillah. Terima kasih untuk Bapak Ibu peserta dan juga Miss May dan juga Ibu Stefani atas pemaparan materi yang cukup insightful dan juga well explanation terkait statistika ini tadi. Nah, sebelum kita tutup sesi kali ini, saya akan membacakan 5 peserta terpilih untuk mendapatkan souvenir dari Perpustakaan Universitas Muhammadiyah Surakarta. Yang pertama, atas nama Nurel Huda SB Almaya dengan NIM B10925006. Kemudian yang kedua ada Hafiza Sana Mansur dengan NIM Q300249009. Yang ketiga ada Saudara Aufa Zaki Izat dengan NIM P102500007. Kemudian ada Andreas Aji P dengan NIM B109240009. Dan yang terakhir atas nama Sunardi dengan NIM Q100240025. Untuk itu, hadiah bisa diambil di bagian administrasi dan informasi Perpustakaan Universitas Muhammadiyah Surakarta pada hari Senin sampai dengan Sabtu pukul 8 sampai dengan pukul 4 sore. Terima kasih atas attention dari para peserta untuk mengikuti sesi sosialisasi statista pada sesi hari ini. Terima kasih juga sekali lagi untuk narasumber kita pada siang hari ini. Also, thank you so much for Mrs. May for delivering and also explain the material insightful and also wonderful presentation. I truly hope and I truly believe that your presentation and also your explanation it is also will be insightful for all the participant in here.
Terima
Again,
kasih. Thank you.
sama-sama. Thank you.
Belum foto Mbak Putri?
Iya, Bu.
Belum foto bersama? Foto bareng dulu.
Iya.
Tadi foto.
Sebelum kita tutup sesi siang hari ini, kami akan mengadakan sesi dokumentasi kepada seluruh peserta, diharapkan untuk menyalakan kamera. So before we close our sessions today, we have to documentation session, so you guys can open your camera and do your best pose to this documentation.
Oke, Bapak Ibu sekalian, saya minta waktunya. Good morning to all the participants. Good morning, Miss May Ting Tong and Miss Stephanie. It's a pleasure to see you all today. Okay, to all participants, may I have your attention for a moment? We would like to take a photo group for documentation purpose. Please put your best smile and your best look. Okay, I'll start from slide 1. Hold on. Screen. Okay, slide 1, 1, 2, 3. Okay, next slide, second slide. Okay, you put 3 in. Okay, wait. 1, 2, 3. The third slide. Ada Mbak Aicha dan Mbak Najwa. Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3. Slide kelima. Okay. The last slide. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Oh. I believe that will be enough. Thank you so much, very so much for your kind cooperation. That's all from me. I will hand now to session to Mbak Pure. Monggo Mbak Pure.
Okay, thank you, Mas Nashid, for the documentations. So, hadirin yang berbahagia, kita telah sampai di penghujung kegiatan, yakni kegiatan sosialisasi pemanfaatan statista untuk mendukung riset. Semoga sesi hari ini memberikan manfaat, memperluas wawasan, dan mendorong kita untuk menghasilkan penelitian yang lebih kuat dan berbasis data. Congratulations to the 5 selected participants who will receive the door prize, and I will mention again. So please take the souvenir or the door prize in the information and administration in the library UMS. On behalf of the committee, I would like to express our science gratitude to Mrs. May Ting Teo for the valuable insight and share today, and also for Miss Stephanie Susilo. Saya selaku MC mohon maaf apabila ada kekurangan dan kesalahan selama memandu acara. Thank you for your active participation and have a wonderful day and see you in the next academic session. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam. Selamat
Thank
menjalankan ibadah
you.
puasa semuanya. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Thank you, Miss
you,
Nika,
Stefani.
Miss Stephanie.
See
Bye.
you.
See
Terima
you.
kasih, Mbak Steph.
Bye.
Have
Makasih
good
Pak
story.
Munajat. Thank you so much, Miss May.
Terima kasih.
Thank you,
No
everyone.
problem. Thank you.
Ya, everyone. Oh ya, buat para peserta, sudah di-share link presensi. Mohon untuk bisa diisi agar bisa diklaim untuk sertifikat. Gitu.
Di-share di mana, Mbak?
Ini sudah di layar ini dan juga ada di chat box. Oke?
Kalau
Sambung.
coba klik nggak bisa, Mbak.
Dari waktu itu dingin, ku beri kau hangat. Walaupun ku juga beku, tapi ku aman saat kau nyaman. Dari waktu itu panas, ku beri kau angin. Walaupun ku juga gerah, tapi ku penuh saat kau teduh. Sudah paham kan sejauh ini? Ku yang lama di sini, menjagamu tak patah hati. Sedia aku sebelum hujan, apa yang kau butuh ku berikan. Kemanapun tak akan kau temukan yang siapkan bekalmu di peperangan. Jika tak setara ku maafkan, memang sebegitunya aku. Ku tak punya pilihan yang dikendali pikiran. Ada namamu disebut, kesitulah arahku berjalan. Sudah paham kan sejauh ini? Ku yang lama di sini, menjagamu tak patah hati. Sedia aku sebelum hujan, apa yang kau butuh ku berikan. Kemanapun tak akan kau temukan yang siapkan bekalmu di peperangan. Jika tak setara ku maafkan, memang sebegitunya aku. Soal cinta aku jatuh, yeah. Ini janjiku untuk hadir dan mencintaimu di hari baikmu dan di hari burukmu. Sedia aku sebelum hujan, apa yang kau butuh ku berikan. Ku yang lama di sini, menjagamu tak patah